I'm not like you. You're a murderer.
Well, to each his own. I chose my path, you chose the way of the hero. And they found you amusing for a while, the people of this city. But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
Because it's right.
So I'm sure you guys have seen that speech before. It's absolutely iconic. Today we're going to be talking about Green Goblin. And not just any Green Goblin, but we're going to be looking at what I think is the best classic 6-inch figure of the Green Goblin. And unfortunately, no, we're not talking about Willem Dafoe's representation of the figure. But if we were, I would say get this guy. Now, there are a couple definitive little classic Green Goblins. You know, you have your Marvel Legends 2-pack, and then, of course, you have the Retro, which is, you know, everybody's favorite. But I think this version tops it all. The MEZCO 112 Collective. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So starting off with the packaging, as you can see, it's super nice, 60s style art. I love it. Yeah, I just think on this Green Goblin and the Spider-Man figure, they have just really nice packaging, better than usual. There he is in all his glory. Comes with a lot of stuff, and this isn't everything. This is just what he comes with on his first clamshell. Bunch of hands, a couple different heads, some unmasked heads. We'll look at everything closer up, but yeah, there's a lot to go through here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So first impressions out of the box, I cannot lie to you guys, I think this is probably the best Green Goblin figure I've ever seen in a 112 scale. The Marvel Legends figures are great, but seeing the details on this thing close up, knowing that it's like a miniature hot toy, fully stitched, real clothing, I think this thing's amazing. Yeah, you can see the details on the scaling, the stitching on the back. The details are awesome. There are peg holes, but like I say, guys, the details here are just outstanding. The little wrinkles and rivets in his mask are amazing as well. Now, one thing I want to bring up, because a lot of people when this figure first came out were complaining about the articulation, is that apparently this thing couldn't crouch and it couldn't bend down, and he was unable to even do poses like squatting down on his glider. But I'm here to tell you that that's not really that true. Yeah, when you first get the figure, at the very first, yeah, he's not going to be able to move that much because the soft goods are going to restrict him a little bit. But the more and more you kind of, you know, move him around, not necessarily heat the figure up, but just use him and loosen up the soft goods, they will loosen and he will be able to bend down. And kind of like I showed you there, using the legs to move it down as well, he will be able to squat down and do some pretty awesome poses in his glider. And one of the biggest selling points to me about this figure is honestly just the overall detail and sculpt work, especially on this particular head sculpt, the smiling one. This is my definitive looking 1960s Green Goblin, John Romita style. And he also comes with other heads we'll look at. Out of the box, he comes with this kind of goofy smiling one, closed mouth. He has a laughing one here. Also kind of derpy in my opinion, but that's okay. And then, of course, the smiling one, which I think this is the best head he comes with. And he also has these amazing Norman Osborn unmasked heads. The details on these heads especially, yeah, these are just absolutely beautiful. Taking a closer look at the hands here, he comes with a bunch of different hands. Lots of different posing options, which is great, of course. He does have hands that can grab the glider, and there he is grabbing the glider like I said he could. And then you do have these fire effects that can come out of the glider. These are really awesome. You know, we don't get stuff like this enough, so seeing this is super great. And then here you can just see a few more of those accessories, and we'll take a closer look at those pretty soon. But as you can see, the fire effects are absolutely awesome. Here's one of the pumpkin effects as well, looking super awesome with all the fire effects on the glider. Just, I'm telling you guys, I'm geeking out. Holding this thing, looking at this thing, it's absolutely phenomenal. The details on all the parts of the glider as well are amazing. And check these out, man. You get a bunch of different options for pumpkins. You get smoky pumpkins, on fire pumpkin bombs, regular pumpkin bombs. There's different sculpted ones, happy ones, sad ones. MEZCO You guys always do such a good job delivering so much variety, especially in the accessory game. I mean, everybody knows MEZCOs are where it's at when it comes to the accessories, especially. So bravo to MEZCO, especially on this Green Goblin release. He just comes with way too much stuff to complain. You know, and the fact that people have been complaining about this figure just due to its, you know, limited articulation and whatever people are complaining about, I have found nothing but positives in this thing. I love it. It's my definitive Green Goblin. Anyway, here's another closer look at some of those accessories, like the mask there. I love that mask. Took a lot of cool photos with that. Here's the frog and the ghost that we saw earlier. I don't really plan on using these that often, but the fact that we have them is awesome. Here's some of the batarangs it comes with, which is just really funny. You really only see Green Goblin use these types of things once in a while. And the fact that MEZCO, you know, pays attention to detail, went out of their way to throw all these things in. I mean, all we needed was a good detailed glider with the smoke effects and we would have been in, but they threw all these extras in and it goes a long way. It definitely makes up for the figure being a bit more pricier. You know, that's the thing with premium figures, is they're going to cost upwards of over $100 sometimes, whereas Marvel Legends might cost, you know, up to $40 at most sometimes. But the Green Goblin Retro, I do remember going for, like, in Canada, $120, give or take, aftermarket, secondhand. So I figured at the time I might as well just have this, because why pay $120 for a Marvel Legends where I could pay, you know, $125 or something like that for this, and I get tons of accessories. And I know I can't shut up about this damn thing, but looking at the glider again, guys, this thing is just packed to the gills with detail. It even has like little buttons on it and diameters and knobs and stuff like that. There are also these straps for the feet to peg onto, and I do gotta say the engineering on this is absolutely brilliant. There's even articulation in the glider itself. There's adjustability so that he can definitely grab it and hold on to the actual handle. And again, just the detail on this thing has me just so happy. There's articulation in this thing, even in the wings. So yeah, I love this glider so much. It's just the glider we've been needing, and it's just very comic book accurate. So yeah, super happy with that. That's about gonna do it for today's video, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming back to watch. Thank you guys for, you know, all the love and support. It's been amazing here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. But what do you guys think of this Green Goblin? Are you guys going to get it yourself? I personally highly recommend this thing. I do give it a solid 9 out of 10. I think they did an amazing job. I think they did just even a slightly better job on this than they did on the Spider-Man figure. Especially on those unmasked head sculpts. If you compare the unmasked head sculpts on this figure to the Peter Parker unmasked head sculpts on the Spider-Man, this thing knocks it out of the park. And that glider, oh, that glider is so good. Everything about this is so good. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Check out my Instagram if you have some time to see some photos. And I'll see you guys in the next video.